Hey, what's up, kids? Let's talk. It's Tuesday. Great to see everybody. Hope you all having a fantastic week so far. Out in the park, enjoying this day. I have a few phone calls I'm taking care of today, and what a great place to be. Brought the Super 73 out today and enjoying it. 65 degrees here in Memphis. Why not, right? So I forget who asked this question. It came up on our list a week or so ago, and I think today's a great day to answer this question. Hey, welcome. Just simply because there's a lot, well, at least here in the States, it's election day, right? There's a lot going on. And we all have to manage that process, and we have to think through how do we deal with that in our own lives, our own families, all that. A lot of negativity can come out of this today. And we know all the people who are negative naysayers, just negative energy in our lives. But apart from just even that and just the way our culture feels right now, there's a lot of people just around us that aren't encouraging us forward, right? So if you've got somebody like that in your life, let's talk about how to deal with that. We all have people that have to be in our lives, family, friendships, neighbors, people that sometimes we can't just simply avoid at the coffee shop, right? And we need to be able to engage them in a way that's kind and yet honest and lets us get back to life and lets us do the things that we need to do. So first up, when I have negative people in my life that are really just working on me and not letting me just rest and breathe, hey, thanks. I'm kind, be kind. See ya, awesome to see you. Kindness is something we can all choose, no matter who you are, no matter what your political party, no matter what your views on COVID or wearing a mask or not wearing a mask, or how you raise your kids, or where you worship, or how you hang out with people in times of celebration or on holidays. It doesn't matter. Kindness is something we get to choose. So if you have negative folks in your life, first up, happy Tuesday to you too, Sian. First up, be kind. That's rule number one. That is our choice. No matter how someone makes us feel, we still have the option to be kind, right? Okay. Number two is I'm honest, right? So you guys still there? I just accepted a phone call while doing a live. I didn't know that was possible. Oops. They're going to call right back, I bet, because I just hung up on them. So make sure you're kind, first of all. Two, make sure you're honest. So honesty is something that's hard to do sometimes in a kind way, but any good therapist would tell us, and I've spent plenty of money in that chair for sure, just getting my life figured out. And the therapists that have been really impactful for me to help me hand someone else's negativity back to them have just taught me to be honest and be kind. And that honesty isn't like taking a jab at somebody and saying, shut up, get away, you're wrong, and arguing back, but just simply saying, you know what, this part of this conversation, this negativity, I want to hand that back to you. And that's not something I can really have going on around me right now. It's not going to be helpful to me, and I'd like to give that back to you. That's simply how we do it, and that's how our therapist kind of taught us to do this, because negative people are real. They're out there, and sometimes even we've been guilty of being that negative person, right? And that's reality. So have a little grace and give people a little bit of space, but being kind and being honest in that process is super, super important. Tim, awesome to see you, dude. Jordan, great to see you, man. How are ya? Yes, I got a message, saw that, dude, and you owe you a message. Oh yes, you do owe me a message, dude, man. Come on. It's great to see you, bud. Let's talk in a little while if you want to. Matt, hey, welcome. Kindness is not a weakness in business, it's a strength. So agree with that. From a negativity standpoint, no matter who it is, if it's a business partner, if it's a life partner, if it's a family member, being kind and choosing to be kind is the important piece. Now, here's a great tip on this. It's funny how being kind to someone else calls them up. It elevates the conversation. It brings it to a more adult and more logical and more approachable point where you can actually get something done. Often just a little bit of kindness and some honesty in a conversation, letting somebody know, here's the dynamic of our relationship. This is really getting to be a negative situation. I don't want that for you or me. So let's put a few boundaries in place around how we talk to each other, or how we approach, or if we need to take a moment back, or maybe subjects we just should simply avoid, like avoiding politics and religion at family holidays or something like that. How do you navigate that? And being kind in that conversation really elevates everybody, and everybody gets a chance to step up and take part in that. It's really cool to see how often people who might be been out of shape or having a hard time for whatever reason, they've had a hard day, had a hard month, had a hard life, or in the middle of some hard situation in relationships or health or whatever, gives them a chance to take a breath, and re-engage in a different way. Adam, awesome to see you, dude. So yes, the answer to your question is two things then: being kind and being honest. Now let me give you one little pro tip that really helps those two things stick together. For me, it is absolutely stepping away and taking a few minutes, taking an evening, going for a run, a bike ride, 5 minutes outside in a different room, whatever it is, just to say, you know, let me just gotta jump out here and take a phone call. Let me just step away for a second and go grab a cup of coffee, whatever it is. I'm gonna think about this and come right back. When I do that, it allows me to really re-engage what's going on and assess my own feelings and assess an action plan that I'm actually gonna be committed to taking, that allows me to approach the person with mutual respect and kindness and help them see that I can take some honest and yet kind steps in our conversation. Hope that helps. Number not next, just the same topic, but a whole nother kind of silo around this is, you know, people saying, I don't know if this is true or not, but it sure seems like it in my life. We become like the 5 people we spend the most time with. So if you're constantly surrounding yourself with negative people, I would look for opportunities to shift that. And I would do the best you can to move away from that. David, what's up, dude? I've always found the people who were nicest to me were the ones that were the most secure with themselves. That's a really good insight, David. It really is. That's a really great insight. People who are unkind are often working on something else that's eating at them and making them insecure. Matt, how to deal with them? Personally, I simply don't keep negative people in my life unless they're family. I know, right? The big parentheses, unless they're family. Jill's my wife. Jill and I were just talking about, you know, Thanksgiving and the end of the year, Christmas holidays coming up in our family world, and there's so many different political views, and there's so many different just COVID mask or not mask views, all that kind of stuff going on. It's just such a complicated time. So we're just kind of thinking through our kindness and how we're going to approach that whole thing. So yeah, family is the big exception. How do you deal with that? Yeah, so if we're like the 5 people or become like the 5 people we spend most time with, then yeah, Matt, simply don't keep negative people in your life. That is such a great tip. And I've made over the years some pretty hard choices. Matt, sounds like you have too, in just deciding who I'm going to spend time with and starting to phase out relationships that weren't mutually beneficial and phase in ones that are more beneficial in a kind way, you know? And it's awkward sometimes to break up relationships and be a little less available over time, but it works and it's worth it. And again, I don't know if that 5 people thing makes sense or if it's actually true, but I have seen it play out in my life, and everybody I know who I'm close to, it definitely seems to play out in their life too. The people, they become like the people they hang out with. So choose those people wisely. And you know, saying yes to people that want some of your time or want a bit of your relationship space is saying no to someone else. So if you're saying yes to a negative person in your life, and you need to learn to say no to them, you're actually going to be opening up another door. You're going to be opening up an opportunity to say yes to another relationship. And those other relationships will take you so much farther, so much faster, in a better way. You'll be glad you did. So I hope that helps. That's not really a business question, I guess, not really a business situation, but it comes up in life, right? And so I'm glad to answer those kind of questions here. Particularly right now, we're in the end of, or hopefully coming through a pandemic worldwide for all of us here, and having people in our life who are cheering us on and leading us forward, and us being those people to other folks in our life, being the cheerleader for other people, is a great way to continue moving all of us forward. We need that positive energy right now. You know, you walk into even a coffee shop, or you're out at the park, or you're at a place where people are gathering, and you see the tiredness, the mutual just kind of exhale that we're all experiencing, but we haven't yet received that next inhale where we're like, yay, here's the next new day in this chapter of global messiness right now. Get out there and be that positive person that you are. If you're an entrepreneur, which you are, if you're watching this, you're in this group, you're wired for optimism. Your thought process naturally go towards, how can we fix this? How can we solve this? And right now, during this crazy year, we've tried to fix some of things. Some of us are kind of beat down, but use that power of optimism you've got. You're unique, and there's not that many people on the planet who think like entrepreneurs and can actually stay optimistic, stay motivated, stay in that problem solver mode, and get out there and keep working to make each of us better and give each of us opportunities. That's what you've got that's special. And so even if you've got negative people in your life, moving on from those relationships, being nice, being honest, helping yourself and them kind of move to new places, and walking away if you have to, but kindly. And and being the person who can uplift so many other people. You want to be the person that everybody else wants to be with. You want to be on everybody else's, I wish you were in my 5-person friend group, Be that person, and you'll see the change in your own mindset, and I promise you'll see the change in a bunch of other people around you too. So, Michael, great to see you. Matt, David, everybody, Tim, Jordan, CN, everybody, y'all have a fantastic week. I'm going to jump out here and enjoy the rest of this day here at the park, handling a few calls. And, one more question here, and then we'll wrap it up here. Matt, do you have elements of routine that keep you positive and excited daily? Yeah, Matt, I do. That's a really good question. Everybody kind of has their own thing here, right? If it's based in spirituality or meditation or just your physical nature. For me, physical activity really, really gets me freed up in my head. I know everybody's wired differently, but I find that that's true for a lot of busy-brained people, particularly entrepreneurs. We all have a little bit of ADD floating around in there, and physical activity is a really great way to keep yourself motivated. I also, this might sound silly, I don't know if it does or not. I also like having things that keep me looking forward and working on a project that is not work, okay? Work eventually wears you down. It's just like running a marathon. If you're a marathoner, running wears you down. You gotta shift to swimming, you gotta shift to biking, you gotta take some long walks, you gotta do something that shakes it up a bit. So for me, I love pursuing new things that are fun hobbies. Right now, I'm super into electric vehicles. And here, I'll flip this around real quick. By the way, this is my work desk today. Isn't this amazing? Can't get any better than that. So here's my newest hobby right now. Got a nice collection of electric vehicles, and that is a fun one. So as silly as that sounds, that's something that keeps me occupied, gives me something fun to do in the afternoons when I'm not working. So yeah, Matt, I'm not one of those people who rolls out of bed every morning and does a structured meditation and repeats the same mantra to myself. I used to do that, but now I've kind of found a good balance in my life. And so waking up, physical activity first, eating the right things all day long so I don't get highs and lows in my blood sugar. I don't have any blood sugar issues. It's just we all respond to things like that. And then staying focused on time blocks that get my work done where I can stay focused, and then having something to look forward to in the afternoons when I'm just chilling and looking for that hobby. Having a hobby is really important. This hobby right here, we're actually building intentionally because of the pandemic. It allows us to build connection and relationship with other folks in our community who have electric vehicles. Just another fun way to get out and meet people in a safe way where everybody can feel comfortable. We're outside and we can play and have fun. So that's what we're doing, Matt. Good question. David, personal goal affirmation is to be the type of person that others always feel better after being around. David, that is just fantastic. Great advice to all of us. Have a great day. Cheers. You bet, Matt. Good to see you, man. David, learning to play the ukulele. No way, dude. Not cool enough to play guitar. Same here. That's a great creative outlet. Fun to see myself improving over time. David, that is so cool. I learned to play the ukulele probably 5 or 6 years ago. I was doing a podcast called I Share Hope. We still have the recordings out there, where we recorded 125 world leaders from all over the world, all walks of life, heads of state, people who are leading these huge prison organizations, Olympians, authors, Nobel laureates, all that kind of stuff. And one of the people we interviewed, 2 of them actually, one was a ukulele teacher, and the other was Jake Shimbrukro. He's a Japanese-American ukulele player. It's just freaking genius, known all over the world. He actually gave me something. He gave me a gift, David, of playing the ukulele and learning a song, a Leonard Cohen song, Hallelujah, that was the first song I'd had in my heart after years of depression, anxiety, and suicidal tendencies. I know, diving deep in this one today, right? But the ukulele, David, I'm coming back to that. The ukulele gave me a creative outlet that reached my heart and refreshed my person, whatever we are inside. It refreshed that in a way that nothing else had. So cheers to Jake. He was one of the first interviews we did on that podcast, and he was kind enough to give us his time. And just, dude, seriously changed my life. The ukulele, I still have 3 in the house right now. They're actually named. We have names for ukuleles and everything. Freaking love that instrument. And you're right, I'm not cool enough to play guitar either. 6 strings, 4 is hard enough, man. 6 freaks me out. Angel, good to see you. So anyway, great questions, great conversation. Bottom line is, on this negativity thing, since we kind of went deep on that one. Oh, David. Oh, awesome. It's Uka Jam. I wonder if you can play the ukulele on Zoom and actually stay in sync. That'd be fun. Holly's a great song. I play it all the time. Yeah, it's an easy one to learn too. And you can kind of riff on it, and it's just chill. It's a cool song. And boy, Leonard Cohen, what a guy. Wish I could have had a chance to meet him before he passed. So let's do this. This whole positive thinking, getting the negative folks out of our life thing is real. And whatever it is for you, find that thing. Think about it today. If you're thinking of something, man, I should take up that little hobby, or I should be honest with so-and-so and have them step away from me a little bit. Write that down. Whatever you're thinking of right now, if it's a positive step forward for you, if it's something you need to step back from someone else, it's just a chance for you to re-engage your heart, and you're thinking of it right now. Write it down on a sticky note. Don't overplan it. Don't think of 10 things you got to do for the next 10 days to build a new habit. Don't get fancy. Just write it down on a sticky note piece of paper. Keep it on your desk, on your computer, wherever, and remind yourself of that for the rest of the week. And as the week goes on, start thinking through, how can I take little tiny steps to put that new thing in my life, or take that negative relationship down a notch. CN, I got out my sketchbook and pencils. Yes, CN, another one. You know how similar we are in this community? It's crazy. I have some pencils, a sketchbook. I love that. And I also have, CN, you gotta see this. I used to love Where's Waldo. So I got a Where's Waldo coloring book. It's like an adult coloring book that's super hyper detailed, but it's all Where's Waldo. So, my kids are teenagers now. They would love it, but it's, too detailed for kids. Oh my gosh. Every time I go to conventions before all this pandemic thing, I would take my Where's Waldo coloring book, and I would sit there and I would color, because I cannot freaking sit there for 4 hours and listen to speeches. Waldo, yes, you should look it up. Where's Waldo adult coloring book. And it's just the most insane, annoying amount of detail you can color in. It will take you forever, and it's really fun. Okay, that's it for me. You guys have a fantastic week. If you're here in the States, whoever you're voting for, get out there and do your thing, do your job. If you're not here in the States, keep watching. We get crazy over here. All right, y'all have a fantastic Tuesday, and I will see you all again we'll do this again on Friday. I think Friday morning, 10 o'clock. I have time slated to do another Q&A, so I'll see you 10 a.m. Central Friday morning. Bye, guys.